Hello.
And every year on the date of the incident, I run again as a warning to others. Don't insult the French, or you will face me.
Clinchfield 311, an enigmatic yet equally melodramatic ghost engine that has captured the attention of the railfan community for about a generation now. Whether you like it or not, you've definitely heard of this engine or ghost story if you have been in the railfan community for even a short amount of time. Whether you like it or not, 311 is a cult classic in the horror side of the Trainz community. And while one could argue that the untold story of Timothy got the ball rolling, 311 popularized the concept of a violent yet equally tragic ghost engine that wanders the rails in search of revenge, whether it be a lost sibling, a lost cause, or to complete a journey that never happened, i.e. because of an accident. It's no secret in the railfan community that this genre of internet horror has become really oversaturated in the past 6 years, and despite many attempts to course correct it and even reinvent it, this genre of internet horror somehow still has an audience in 2025, over 10 years since the concept was introduced with the untold story of Timothy. Why is this still popular despite everyone trying to push for this? This is what I'm going to try to find out in this video. Now, before we start, I'd like everyone, regardless of their opinion on this topic, who are watching this video right now, to keep an open mind, because this is actually a very important conversation to have in a new generation of Trainz content creation. If we want this issue to be addressed properly, then we have to acknowledge that this is not a one-track problem. It's not entirely one side's fault, nor is it another side's fault for the way things have turned out. This is a very complex issue that I think has a very simple solution. And if we keep that simple solution, then hopefully there will be no problems. Now let's begin. The root of the 311 knockoff problem really began in the fall of 2019, though copies of the story from personal experience have been made as far back as 2015 and 2017. But it was in 2018 and 2018 that these knockoffs really became public and widespread. An influx of content creators posted their own takes of the 311 story with their own characters and their own stories. And while I won't name drop anyone to preserve their dignity, I will describe what the problem was. They changed the engine, they changed the way of death, but they did not change the formula. And that was what caused the outrage. Almost overnight, the railfan and Trainz communities grew a pair of britches and decided to ditch the concept entirely in favor of either abstract or original horror stories, or simply ditching the idea of ghost engines altogether. The critical response was also really diverse as well. You had either white knights, people that hung out people's dirty laundry out to dry for all to see, or others that used comedy to get their point across. And yet, despite all that was thrown at it, the 311 genre and its fan base by proxy lives on. Now, the analytical reason for it is actually very simple. There's plenty of creators who make plenty of videos and stories. Just punching in Clinchfield 311, nothing else, into YouTube gives me at minimum 130 videos. I mean, one of them is an actual short film that got an award at a film festival and is being screened for an actual event next year. Like, kudos to you, dude. Typing Clinchfield 311 into Google search yields similar results, with over 11 pages. All things considered, very impressive, but at the same time, not really, because a lot of these posts are 4 years old at the youngest. The real thing that's causing the outrage are all the copies and clones that change the setting and the characters, but not the formula and the plot. For ease of terminology, instead of 311 knockoffs or ripoffs, we will call them 311ites. The 311ites have a doomsday vault worth of content, with plenty of people making them and plenty of people consuming them. How does one combat it? Well, if you have original content that isn't part of the 311ites, post it. Do you want a predatory alien creature that feasts on locomotives for their oil? Go ahead and post it. Do you want a Japanese metro train that it's actually a yokai and is deeply ingrained into Japanese folklore and legends? Go ahead and post it. The fact of the matter is, this is not going to change unless you actually go out there and make your ideas publicly known. Never mind the potential backlash or the initial lack of attention. If it's out there, people will notice eventually. This is exactly what I tried to do with 18 Days to Halloween, and while not every story stuck the landing, they at least tried to be original, and sometimes just trying is a good step forward.
Sit tight and remain observant, Chester, my boy. The French ghost of Paris is coming, and we're going to catch it.
That we are, my lord. Best yet, we know exactly where this creature is coming from, too.
Indeed, reports are saying she is coming from the right, which is interesting given the French drive on the left side of the road.
And after we capture her, we will truly cement ourselves as the most feared ghost engine hunters in the world, redeeming ourselves in the eyes of those Tidewater engines.
Yes, indeed, Chester. We have learned quite a bit since our humiliation 4 years ago. Bonsoir, Americans! You can't touch me now! Aha! There she is! Come on, let's go chase her!
Wait, what are you doing? Are you insane? You're not actually gonna chase me! Ow! Oh my god, chase me now!
Come on, Chester, the chase is on!
Right behind you, my lord! Stop, you heathen!
Another possible factor into why 311 and the 311 Nights are still popular to this day, despite many attempts to course correct it, possibly lie within our human instincts and religious institutions. Now hang on, don't click off, hear me out for a second. Human instinct plays a part because fear is an evolutionary tactic to promote survival. Innate fears are passed down through generations, helping our ancestors avoid danger. However, at the same time, fear is also taught by the caregiver, which is why babies are not afraid of snakes and spiders. Yes, this is an actual experiment conducted by ABC Science. But being afraid of predators or afraid of the dark are actually inherited fears based on what our ancestors did. We couldn't and still can't see in the dark, therefore anything will come out of the dark, and plus, predatory animals were and still are a huge problem. 311 objectively fits into these boxes like a glove, a predatory spirit that roams a specific part of territory and also thrives in the dark. Plus, what separates 311 from something like Freddy Krueger or Pennywise is that 311 is not a humanoid creature of any kind. 311 is a giant steam engine, mid-sized by locomotive standards but still giant to humans. And while you could argue that we as humans could simply just run away from the tracks because 311 is bound to the rails, locomotives that are the actual victims of 311 can't. They're bound to the tracks. And when we humans consume horror, we tend to put ourselves in the story as the victims of this monster, i.e. Billy and It, the crew and Ghost Ship, or in this case, the engines when 311 comes to claim them. Another possible factor into 311's success is religion and Abrahamic depictions of demons. For as long as there have been depictions of Jesus and the pearly gates, there have equally been many depictions of Lucifer and the burning wasp nest. For centuries, demons have been portrayed as unsightly, horrific, aggressive, and above all, red. And what is 311? Unsightly, horrific, red. While technically not a quote-unquote demon in terms of creation and origin, being that 311 was a mortal before dying in the story, all these characteristics come together to make 311 objectively what we as humans, godly or otherwise, were raised to fear. Add to the fact that they're trains and you can't run away from the rails if you're an engine, well, certain doom. And yet, despite 311 adhering to most depictions of demons in Christian lore, equally, 311 also represents a very key Christian value, repenting and redemption. And 311 does exactly that by the end of the Clinchfield Curse movie. And that's the thing about 311 that's appealing compared to other Ghost Train stories. There's a setup, scares, and a payoff by the end. And thus, that formula has been repeated multiple times to the community's chagrin. But there is merit behind it.
Oh crap, you're actually really catching me up now.
We've almost got her! I'll couple up to her. Chester, you get the butterfly net.
Coming right up, my lord.
On number one, the third.
Ow! What the hell is that for? There, get your mini fuel away from me. I am escargot power.
Oh, blast it! This is not how I anticipated it at all! Oh, but don't you worry. We're going to catch you and...
Stop! You violated the law. Stop right there, criminal
Chester,
scum.
come back here!
Wow, your colleague is a big idiot.
Well, at least he has the decency not to scare people, and has the intelligence to know that American engines can't roam on French loading gauge.
Meh, I suppose.
I will say, the night sky is unusually bright. Are we experiencing a winter solstice?
Haha! Got you, you repulsive ghost train! Wait, it just occurred to me. Didn't I just pass them a few seconds before? Oh no! I messed up badly! Oh, I'm so grounded for this.
Despite the Clinchfield Curse movie objectively being a convoluted, historically inaccurate, and melodramatic mess of messy writing, passable characters, and lukewarm cinematography, the very idea of 311, and by concept, a tragic yet violent and unpredictable ghost engine, is sound. Sound enough to be repeated continuously and adapted continuously well into the present day. I'm even still being asked to do them. And while it would benefit me analytically with all those views and statistics, I'm not going to add to the pile of a very oversaturated market. Rather, I intend to reinvent it with original concepts, stuff that hasn't been heard of or thought of before. That being said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking the core concept of the 311 Nights and shaking it up to form something new. That's what my brother Sterling is doing right now with Ghosted Ghost Trains. And that's my primary message of this video. And that's the primary message of this video. If you want something new and original to shake up the landscape, please publish it. Don't keep it to yourself. However, you'll also have to acknowledge to live and let live as well. Because unfortunately, 311 is a gift that keeps on giving. And in some cases, that's all that some people can handle. Horror isn't a popular genre in film and TV because people are used to it. No, it's because people watch horror to get scared. And you know what? It's perfectly okay to be scared of 311 or the 311 Nights. Because, let's face it, humans don't like horror. People can consume horror, but there are very few people in this world that can actually tolerate it, and even fewer people that are actually desensitized to it. To say that people were not at the very least intimidated when the Clinchfield Curse movie came out in 2017 is objectively a lie. There's a reason why it's in railfan pop culture. However, at the same time, that doesn't make it, or the 311 Nights, good. Because the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And that's what we're seeing with the Clinchfield Curse and the 311 Nights that came out of it. The railfan community experienced in 2019 and 2020 what conventional moviegoers experienced in 2022 and 2023. Superhero fatigue. But the genre can be made good again. All we need is for people to step up with original ideas, while also acknowledging others' preferences and limits.